Hi, welcome to Ocean Yumi's channel. So today I'm going to read this article to do with the House of Tears secret tapes of the woman who spent years at the controversial Irish home for unmarried mothers reveals there was unmarked mass graves for children. So some 769 children died at a single Irish care home between 1925 and 1961. It was feared that the children's bodies was buried in a mass grave at the site. A worker at the home in Galway made a tape interview before her death. That interview confirms the existence of mass graves at the site in Turnham. A shocking recording from a woman who worked in an Irish home for unmarried mothers where almost 800 children died confirms that there is an unmarked grave on the grounds of the infamous institution. Julia Devan entered St Mary's Mothers and Babies Home in Tyrone, County Galway, when she was 9 years old and spent 36 years there until it was closed in 1961. She worked as a domestic servant for Bon Socos nuns. Miss Devani gave a stoic account of the home in a record interview with the former employer who ran a shop in Turnham sometime in 1980s. However, the tapes only resurfaced earlier this year. That's the lady. Some 800 children died in... so this house is different to the other one because there's also the Filomena as well. So that's that mass grave what I showed earlier. From the 1920s, unmarried pregnant women in Ireland was routinely sent to institutions to have their babies, and many of whom were sent to America for adoption. Local historian Catherine Corliss, who researched the names of 796 children who died in the home from 1925 to 1961, has spent numbers of months transcripting Mrs. Devan's interview. Today, the Irish Mail on Sunday can reveal how Mrs. Devani said that the children would die like flies in the home. When Mrs. Devani said scores of children died on the year, whooping coughs was epidemic. Sure, they had a little graveyard of their own up there. It is still there. It's walled in now. I don't remember seeing any stillbirths. If the children died under a year, there was always inquiries. There wasn't as much about if the child was over a year. Under a year old, the inspectors will put it down to neglect. They would look upon it as a natural if the child was over a year, because the child would be more open to diseases. So this is the shameful era of the history of the bodies of nearly 800 babies was believed to have been interned in the concrete tank beside a former home for unmarried mothers. The unalive babies are thought to have been secretly buried beside the home for single mothers and their children in County Galway, Ireland, over a period of 36 years. It's suspected that 796 children was interred on the unconsecrated ground without headstones or coffins next to a home ran by Bon Socos nuns in Turnham between 1925 and 1961. Newly unearthed reports show that they suffered malnutrition and neglect, which caused the death of many, while others died of measles, conjunctivitis, TB, and other stuff. The babies was usually buried in pain and shrouded without a coffin in a plot that had housed a water tank attached to the workhouse. The mother and baby, next door to the mother and baby home. The nuns in the home did not condemn the women as sinners. No, no, no. If the girls came in young, they were not allowed to finish their schooling. Nuns would had very little contact with the children. They wouldn't even know their names. Wow, that's a lot, you know. Can't even do that one. So this is the home here. Very sad, very, very sad history. But there's also another home called the Filomena as well, which I might just look at. Because like I said, there was plenty houses, one in Ireland, London, Canada, and certain places. These homes was everywhere, okay? So this is the lady who spoke out, okay? So thank you for listening. Thank you. Bye. Oh, yeah, leave a comment below. Thanks.